Hi, my name is Jeff from Mental Health Resource.
And I'm Keta Loren with the StraitJacketPodcast. And today I'm super excited to introduce our guest, Skinny Vinny, co-host of the Wild Ride podcast. You. Also, just a personality in general, you know, social media and the likes. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
That's a very...
It's a loaded question, right?
Yeah, it's a loaded question. I mean... I guess I'm just I like to consider myself a normal dude that's just addicted to attention.
I love that because same, but girl.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just love to make people laugh and smile in any way that I can.
Yeah. And
also be opposite of normal, I guess. Whatever you consider normal is. Yeah. You know?
Use that to make people feel more comfortable being who they are?
Yeah. I think it's super important. I think, I mean, I still struggle with like insecurities and stuff like that. And like, it took a very, very long time for me to like look in the mirror and be like, oh, you're pretty cool. You know, even sometimes I still struggle with that. Yeah. You know, like whether it's
how human of you.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah. Whether it's like identity crisis or fucking, you know, just like not thinking I deserve some type of whatever it may be, you know, like, or imposter syndrome.
Right.
You know, because like this life that I was given just kind of fell on my lap.
Yeah.
And happened really quick after being homeless and stuff. And so it's like I still, even with almost 8 years and like accomplishing so much, I'm still like, who do I think I am? Right. Kind of thing. You know, it's like... Yeah, it's a really weird thing, and I'm like, you know, I'm getting better with it because I surround myself with people who are like super rad and have a lot, whether that's like spirituality or financially or physical
multi-rich.
Multi-rich, and like, again, I'm like, who do I think I am? Thinking I could just like be with these group of people. But then I like it's easier to remind myself that like, oh, I'm here for a reason. You know,
and it should serve as confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you flip the perspective on it, like, who do I think I am? Like, wow, this must be who I am.
Yeah. And it's easier to get to that point nowadays. Yeah. It is. I mean, just within the last couple years, like, I'm slowly getting to that part. And the last 7 years have been like, each year has been like the craziest level up. You know, it's just like each year has been, and I'm not just talking sobriety, but like career-wise and relationship-wise and accomplishments and stuff like that. It's just like each year is just getting bigger. And just within the last 3 years, it's like, okay, I think like I'm here.
I think I know who I am.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think that's something that a lot of addicts struggle with. Like, it's that who am I don't know, so I'm going to kind of numb everything situation.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. For me, it was like, I kind of always knew that I was going to end up with this like colorful life and do the things that I do. But because I had that 12, 13 year hiatus of drugs and homelessness, that, because I got to a point where I accepted that was my life. Yeah. That I was like a lonely heroin addict and I was going to die a lonely heroin addict. Yeah. So when I got sober and this kind of just fell on my lap, it was like, I don't deserve this. Because I heard a lot of people in that decade of...
As we do.
You know, like, so it's like, I don't deserve this. It's not going to last kind of thing, you know. But yeah, here I am still.
Well, as I said outside, I think the universe or God was just waiting for you to get your shit together so that your destiny could... Yeah. This was your destiny. Like, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind.
For sure.
You know?
I think he's just like, oh, you're still alive?
Right.
Here.
There you go.
Like, you're still...
Let's make it interesting.
Yeah. Let's see what you could do with this.
I love that.
Yeah.
But so you were... using and on the streets for a multiple of years. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your journey into addiction. Did you start off just partying and stuff? That's typically the story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the typical story. But I was surrounded by drugs and alcohol as a kid, even before I started using. Like my mom was an ex-heroin addict, and she didn't get clean until I was like 10. Okay.
But she did get clean.
She got
mom.
clean. She, not completely sober. She's on the methadone program. Okay. Still is. Whatever.
Yep. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, whatever you got to do. And my pops passed when I was 2. He got hit by a drunk driver when he was on his Harley. And then my father's side, all traditional, old school Italian alcoholics. Mm-hmm. My mother's side, all gnarly alcoholics, drug addicts, you know. So I was surrounded by it my whole life. But that kind of, I was like, oh, I'm seeing what it's doing to all these people.
Right.
I am not going to fall for that. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
Like how stupid could I be to let that happen? Mm. And
then you realize it has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do with any of that.
No.
And growing up, I was always this like little insecure little boy, just like craving attention and like validation anywhere I could. So it's just like I was just trying to fit in, and once I fell into, you know, smoking weed and drinking and the party groups and you know, just wanting to be the center of attention, I'm the one that starts selling the weed and you know, and just wanting to be needed by everybody. It's like, oh, the drug dealer. Everybody needs the drug dealer.
Definitely.
You know, so,
yeah, it's everybody's best friend.
Yeah, everybody's best friend. So, that's how I got into it. And then it was never, it was always the quickest transition. I can never just like, oh, I'm going to smoke a joint and like relax. No, it's like I'm going all in. Everything I do is just all in or nothing, you know. And then next thing you know, I'm like eating acid and popping Molly and summers of nitrous and you know, and following fish around and like just going to festivals. And then
I've been to a Fish concert, like what greatest jam band. Yeah, they're incredible. You can get high off of their music alone.
You can get high just standing in the parking lot.
You can get high. It was at the Forum, and there was so much weed smoke. I did actually get accidentally high.
So you know, that's it. But I still had it in my head, and like my mom, I like, we always had a close relationship. So like, she knew what I was doing, but she was always like, as long as you're not putting anything up your nose or in your veins, you're fine. And so I always had it in my head. I was like, okay, yeah, like that's easy,
right?
You know. And then
I'll just eat all the drugs.
Yeah. And so and. How I started with the narcotics is I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and it was
such a common trope.
Yeah, and when I popped the first, my medication just wasn't touching the pain, so I was just like in my bed crying, can't sleep, and one of my buddies who's already like on Percocets, he's just like, dude, just eat a Percocet, like you'll be able to go to sleep, you'll be fine. And I was like kind of scared, but I was just in so much pain, and so I just popped it, and then I remember that feeling of like, oh.
Wow. Yeah.
I feel like I've been looking for you my whole life.
My love.
Yeah. You are my wife now, you know, like, and I'm never letting you go.
Yeah.
And, and I was just like, oh, okay, now I'm addicted to Percocets. Yeah. And it was just the quickest transition from
And access was really easy at that time. They were talking circa, what?
This was like
2008?
Yep, 2008, 2009.
It was the best time for that drug.
Yeah. I would go down to Staten Island, because I'm from Connecticut, so I would just go down to Staten Island and, you know, bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very, the years weren't dark yet.
Yeah.
It was still like,
fun.
I'm like, what, 19, 20 years old, you know, thinking.
Yeah.
Like, what's an addict? You know, like,
not me.
Not me. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how it started.
And then it progressed quickly, or?
Yeah, it was the quickest progression. It was. I learned how to smoke Oxycontins from
good old tinfoil.
Yeah, good old tinfoil. And I learned how to do that.
They burned like shit though. Your throat hurt so bad. I just remember your throat hurt.
Yeah, and I learned how to smoke them from MTV True Life, I'm an Addict.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's how I learned that you could smoke them. So the next thing you know is I have my rooms filled with tinfoil, and
fingers are always black.
Fingers are always black. I have soot all over my face, thinking I'm hiding it. Like,
right.
Thinking I'm getting away with everything, and which I'm not, you know. And and it was never, again, it was never like, okay, I'm just going to do a couple, and like next week, you know.
Right.
It's just always, I'm going to do everything until I'm out, and then I'll figure it out the next day, kind of thing. And then I start selling everything that I own just to get more. And
this is at like 17?
no, this is a little bit older.
Okay.
This is like early 20s now,
Okay.
you know, because when my father passed, I got a pretty fat check from his passing when I turned 18.
Okay.
And at this point, you know, I was smoking weed, partying, no narcotics yet, but like, when you give somebody who grows up poor $250,000,
Yeah.
you know, and nobody really teaches you the value of a dollar, nobody teaches you, you know, how to invest. I grew up without a father, you know, like nobody teaches you how to let your money make your money.
Yeah.
Nobody taught me that.
Right.
So it's like
nobody knew probably.
Yeah, I mean, especially my family. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so you give me a $250,000 check, and I'm just like going crazy. I'm buying cars, I'm buying jewelry, I'm buying shoes and jet skis and all this shit. You know, it's just like yeah. So because I always remember like we would drive by the beach and I would see people on jet skis and I would always daydream and I'd be like, man, it must be so nice to have a jet ski. When I had the money, I was just like, I'm gonna buy a fucking jet ski.
Hell yeah.
You know, and it was the best. You know, and so I had all this random material bullshit.
Yeah.
And then, but when the narcotics started to come in the picture, it was slowly selling off everything because I'm out of money at this point. You know, I remember like,
How long did it take?
I was broke by the time I was like 23.
So like a couple years.
Yeah,
but
a few years. You know, blew up to $250,000. You know, just
Yeah.
The one thing I did do that was like kind of responsible is I paid for my tuition, my college tuition up front.
Yeah.
But by the time I was going to college, I was fully addicted to oxys, and I dropped out after 3 months.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't give me any of my money back. It was like $90,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
I wonder if you could have went back and like just I prepaid for this.
Maybe, but I'm so glad that I didn't though.
Right.
Like, because
Your life
I
took
was
a
at
different
that
turn.
time I was like wanted to be a rapper and like so I was like I'm gonna go to school for sound
Look
engineering.
on your face as you say that is so fun.
Because
Wanted
it's
to be a rapper.
cringy, dude. It's so cringy because like everybody, like I feel like a big percentage of white dudes from New England at that time of the year listening to G-Unit, Eminem, like everybody wanted to be a rapper,
Right.
You know, so
I wanted to be a rapper.
yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to school for sound engineering so I could like make my own beats, you know,
Yeah.
and, like. But thank God that I didn't do that. Like, thank God, because I don't like that shit at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to college. You drop out. Obviously, you're not with it because your life is oxys at this point.
For sure. Yeah.
How long did it take to transition to harder stuff, and how were you introduced to it?
The harder stuff came in the picture at like 24. So it was just like, it was a couple years of the pills and the oxys and perks.
And then you went broke.
I went broke. I'm kicked out of the house. Because I'm like, so, and I'm broke. I have nothing left to sell anymore. So
Right.
now I'm like stealing from my close family members
Yeah.
and stuff. And so I'm getting kicked out of the house and I'm like couch surfing here and there. And, I guess you could say homeless, but not yet on the streets.
Right.
You know, and one of my very close friends, he moved up to Burlington, Vermont. And he's like, hey, man, like, you could come sleep on my couch. I'll help detox you. And then we'll go from there.
Because you're physically dependent, obviously.
For sure.
So you're getting sick every time you run out.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I really have no other choice, you know? Like, so I go up to Burlington, Vermont, and I'm like dope sick on this dude's couch, and not knowing this dude has a full heroin addiction. And he's just shooting up in the bathroom.
Oh, my gosh.
And I find this out, and I'm like,
What the fuck, guy?
share. You know, what the fuck? Like,
I'm sick here, writhing in pain.
like you're letting me like die on your couch while you're like living life in your bathroom,
Right.
You know, and so that's how the heroin started, and the needle came into the picture very soon after that. 'Cause
Really?
I was like a little scared to start with the needle, but living up in Burlington, Vermont, everything's 3 times the cost because the closer you get to the Canadian border, the more expensive the drugs get.
That's how I got on the needle the first time. Somebody pinched my sack and I only had a little bit left. And so...
It needed to be worth your money.
Yeah.
You know?
They're like, the only way you're going to get high is if you do it this way. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. And so that's how the needle came into the picture. And then that's just a whole nother beast of like... I'm not just addicted to the drugs anymore. I'm addicted to the needle. I'm addicted to the whole ritual, the whole life of it, you know? And then it's just like...
It's like an entity, and I always say that.
Yeah.
It's like got a life of its own.
It really does. And I don't know, it was just... you think life can't get any darker, but then it's just like...
Yeah, and then somebody blows the last candle out.
Yeah. And it's just like, and then I'm actually on the streets, and like my buddy who let me sleep on his couch to help me detox, he ended up passing from an overdose, and like this dude was like one of my best friends, and he had one overdose, passed away from it. And I have 15 overdoses, and a few of those I've actually passed away and like woken up with like tubes down my throat and EMT. I'm like chained down and EMT, you know. And so when that happened to him, that like took me to another level of like I don't give a fuck anymore. You know, I'm just gonna. I'm like I said earlier, like I'm not the type to like hang it up, but I am the type to like go out guns blazing. Burn it down. Yeah, burn the house down for sure. So it was just like. Again, you think you could dig yourself a deeper... You can't dig any deeper, but it just always gets deeper. Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah, there's no bottom. The bottom is where you stop digging, like you say.
Somebody like me, there's no bottom. Yeah. You know, the only bottom for me is death. Yeah. Because I don't give a fuck about jail. I don't give a fuck about rehabs. No. So it's like the only bottom for me is death. Right. And I've been there.
Yeah. Tell me about the time that you woke up pulling tubes out of your throat.
Fresh out of a 30-day rehab stint. Yeah. I go to one of the, because, you know, when you go to rehab, you become friends with these dudes, and misery loves company. So it's just like, oh, let's go get loaded together, you know? Yeah. So I'm in this dude's house.
And the other thing, the tolerance goes down because you've been sober for 30 days, and you go out and you do the same amount that you would normally do, and it's way too fucking much for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then my smart idea is like, oh, man, I have connects in Connecticut. I could bring it down, go to Connecticut, bring it back up to Vermont, make a killing, get high for free. Yep. So now I have like all this money again and all this free dope. And so I'm fresh out of 30-day rehab. I go down to Connecticut, pick up a batch, bring it back to Vermont. And we're in my boy's room. And next thing you know, I do a shot. I'm out. Totally out. And I don't know how long I was out for, and then the next thing I remember is I just open my eyes, my arms are tied down, and there's a tube just going down my throat. And I'm like, can't breathe, kinda. And I still don't know that it's a tube yet, you know? And then they're like, oh, he's awake. And they pull the tube out of my throat. And it was like so far down there. It was just like,
I feel like it was never going to end.
Yeah. And the first thing that came to my mind, I remember this so vividly. The first thing that came to my mind was, I hope they don't find my heroin in the closet. Right. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Like, I'm going to need that, you know, which they didn't.
That's a crazy thought to have, and it's so typical of the addict. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard similar things. Yeah. You know, you're literally coming off of a deathbed. Yeah. And you're like, where's my shit?
That's the insanity behind it.
It's literal insanity. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So that wasn't the first time that you overdosed.
No.
And it wasn't the last, obviously. There's 15.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the last. Oh man, there's so many of them. The first one, I was just, again, in a buddy's house, getting high with him and his mom. And I just fall out. I'm on my feet. Next thing you know, I'm out on the ground, and luckily they had Narcan in the house, and they got me back. And there's a lot of those, you know, just like in somebody's house, I fall out, they hit me with Narcan, I'm up.
You're so lucky that you were with people, first of all, and then second of all, that they knew what they were doing and had experience with it, because you know that's when it becomes dangerous, is when you're using alone. Yeah. And I didn't like using with other people. Yeah, me either.
You know, I love to seclude myself. Number one, don't have to share.
That's number 1 and 2 and 3.
Exactly. And even even today in my sobriety, I don't like. It's really weird because I love the center of attention. I love entertainment. I love entertaining people, but I love being at home by myself and not dealing with other people's bullshit. Yeah. You know, I think that just comes with getting older. Yeah. But even then, like, I'd rather fucking go in my porta potty that I made my apartment and go get loaded by myself.
Do you have a porta potty in your apartment?
No, I turned a porta potty. The last 3 years of my homelessness in Connecticut,
Okay.
I slept in a porta potty. It was like a handicap size one, so it was just like just big enough for me to like lay down on the ground.
Yeah.
And so I stayed in that for 3 years.
Okay.
And and so that's what I like. I'd rather go in that thing, watch Netflix on my phone, and get loaded and just like fall asleep in my porta potty.
Yeah.
Than fucking.
You didn't get cold. They have all the seasons.
Well, yeah. So the winters were fucking gnarly in that thing, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, and then when it rained too, because they're not like sealed. You know what I mean? So when it's raining, it fucking will flood a little bit. So it's just like. I remember during the winters or when it's raining, I would like go break into people's basements and like go sleep in their basement without them knowing. And
That sounds like some tweaker shit. Did you ever get involved with meth, or were you
a little bit when I came out to LA?
Because they don't really have it that much on the East Coast. It's
not a big
crack
thing.
and like cocaine.
I loved smoking crack, and I loved shooting coke.
Yeah.
Like my whole motto was, if I could rig it, I can dig it. You know what I mean? Like that was like, because I love the needle so much. So anything I could put in the needle, I'll shoot up.
Right.
I've even shot up liquid LSD before.
Oh my god.
So like,
my saying was, "Do you have any drugs I can put with my drugs?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, love smoking crack, love shooting coke, love putting it all together, you know. The meth wasn't really my thing. It was, the only reason why I tried it was because I was looking for coke.
Yeah.
I couldn't find coke out here. And so then everybody's like, "Oh, I got glass. And, I was like, fuck it, whatever. And then I didn't like it, but if like somebody was to say, "Hey,
I have some,"
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you get to like it, and I think that's the funniest thing about drugs is I didn't like any of the drugs I did first starting out. Like there was just like too many side effects. Like I was like, this is terrible. Why would I do this again? And then I would fucking do it again. And then eventually the side effects go away, and you just get the effects, and like you're like, this is good, you know. So
I out of all the drugs I've done almost every drug you could think of. Almost. And I loved every one of them right off the rip.
Really?
Except for glass. Yeah. It was, I don't know, it just felt kind of like...
grimy.
Yeah. It was like a weird feeling. Like, I remember like locking myself... And I was like in a sober living at this point where I'm just like... I remember locking myself in the bathroom and I'm just like jerking off, scratching my face, jerking off, scratching my face, jerking off, scratching my face for hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, what am I doing? But I can't stop.
Right.
It's like... But I kept doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if I couldn't find coke, I'm going to do that. You know, like, I made sure I had my heroin first, and then I'm going to look for coke. If I can't find coke, then I'll get the glass. You know, it's just a fucked up cycle.
Yeah. So you're living in a porta potty, and that's just gold, by the way.
Yeah.
It's gold. And then you said you moved to California because it was easier to be homeless out here.
Yeah. It was... because of the winters, you know, like we were saying. And I always, ever since I was a kid, you know, I always had that Hollywood dream and like wanting to go out to Hollywood and be famous. I don't know why, but like celebrities, famous, like just the term famous, it's always been so interesting to me.
Yeah.
You know, just the fact that like your art or whatever you do has so much influence on other people.
Right.
And it could change people's mind. Like you could just do so much with your influence,
impact,
right?
yeah.
You have so much impact. So it always interested me. And even I'm talking 10 years old, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I want to be famous.
Yeah.
And so I always had that dream of coming to Hollywood, but when you're a little white boy from Connecticut, that dream just seems so big and so far-fetched, and you don't know where to start, and you know, you don't have the right guidance, you don't, you know, and so I just always thought that would never happen, right? It always stuck with me, but the older I got, it was just like, oh, okay, next thing you know, I'm 25, next thing you know, I'm 27, sleeping in a porta potty. Like, I still have the dream, but it's so far back in my brain.
It's not looking like it's panning out.
It's never
for
gonna
Vinny.
happen.
Yeah.
You know, so So the way I got out here was a friend of mine who I used to get loaded with. He had come to LA to get sober like 6 years prior.
Okay.
And he somehow found my number, reached out. He's like, hey, I'll fly to LA, but you got to get sober.
Yeah.
And this was the height of the whole body brokering thing.
That's what I was figuring when she said that. Yeah.
Yeah. And at this point, I don't know what body brokering is.
No.
I don't know. The only I had no interest in getting sober, no interest of changing my life. No, I had accepted this as my life and I'm cool with it.
Right.
But I was just like, yeah, I'll take your flight to LA.
Right.
Sure, I'll go to your rehab.
Did they pay you?
No.
Okay.
No, they didn't pay me because I didn't even know about that
Right.
yet, you know? And I did get into that stuff a little before I got sober. But they flew me out here. I went to their rehab in Anaheim, and I left after a couple days. And I was like, okay, I'm in California. This is going to be a new start of my homelessness. Yeah. You know, and
It's all the sunshine and palm trees. And
I had nothing to my name except a backpack with my phone charger, 2 pairs of sweatpants, a couple white T-shirts, and a couple pairs of underwear. And I
at least you had underwear.
Yeah.
Seems responsible.
I made my way to Newport Beach, and I stayed on Newport Beach for a couple weeks, and I slowly started to make my way north up to Skid Row.
Okay.
And I stayed on Skid Row for a few months. And
what is that like? Oh my gosh, because I can only imagine.
It was some of the gnarliest nights, but the fucked up insanity behind it was like I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I was very comfortable. I was like, oh, I'm with my people.
And where I belong.
Yeah, this is where I belong, you know? And at that time, like I'm 29. My mom's still paying for my health insurance.
Yeah.
So I was taking advantage of that, like going into a sober living for a couple of days, you know, eating some food, sleeping in a bed, showering for a couple of days, then leave. And then I would go right back to Skid Row. And it was... I saw some of the most fucked up shit. Like, nobody should ever see the shit that goes on down there. And it's only getting worse since then.
Yeah.
You know,
What's one of your worst experiences that you had?
I saw some chick getting raped.
Oh, my gosh.
Multiple times. I've seen that multiple times. One of the nights, I remember this so vividly. I was trying to score all day.
Yeah.
Couldn't find money. Trying to score all day. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I finally able to score some money. Finally score some dope. I'm like, I can't wait. I need to do that. Like, no bathrooms are open, no nothing, you know. So I just
sit on the street.
Yeah. So I just sit down on the corner. I'm on the 7th. I'm on the corner of 7th and San Julian, and I sit down in the corner, get my rigs ready, ties around my arm, and next thing you know, a spotlight just hits me. Whoop, whoop. Cop, and my thinking was, I throw the spoon, throw the needle behind me. And I'm thinking he's not going to see it.
Yeah.
You know, but I still have the tie around my arm.
Right.
I forgot to take the tie off my arm. So the cop just stops and he's like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
And I was so honest with him. I was like, look, bro, I'm a drug addict. I'm from Connecticut. I can't get sober. I don't know what to do. He's like, give me your ID. I give him my ID. He's like, you really are from Connecticut. He's like, what the fuck are you doing on the corner of 7th and San Julian?
Right.
People get killed on this corner every night.
Right.
And I didn't care, you know, and he was like, get your drugs and get the fuck out of here. Didn't take my shit, didn't take anything. He was just like, get out of here before you get killed. And like, power to you, man. You know, like, I respect you. I salute you.
Probably just felt so damn bad for you.
Yeah. You know, I think me being super vulnerable with him and honest, I think he was just like, oh, wow, like, yeah, you're struggling.
Yeah.
Like, let's not die tonight.
Let's not die tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's always a risk when you're down there. I mean, I went down there a couple times to score when I couldn't find anything anywhere, and I was like desperate. I'm like, somebody's going to fucking know. But then you have to share it, and you know, you got to like hook them up for finding it for you, like all that shit. But it was gnarly. Like, just.
It's super dark. It's, you know, it's
Gotham City.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is like Gotham.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. Like I'll take a stroll down there a couple times a year now.
Yeah,
and you know, just to
you ever do any outreach or anything like that around there?
We do. I'm friends with this dude who does this food for, I forget what it's called, but it's like every first Sunday of the month where we'll go out there and with a bunch of food and clothes and stuff. But not just then. Like I'll randomly like. I'm going to go take a drive down just to like remain in gratitude and
Yeah.
remain humbled, and and it just hasn't gotten any better.
So your forgetter doesn't start kicking in?
Yeah, it's so easy, especially for somebody like me. It's very easy to forget how bad things were,
Especially when things have gotten so good.
Exactly. So good, so fast.
So good, so fast. My problem has never been when I was struggling. When I'm struggling, like I'm like mentally or it's with something in my life, I'm always like latched on to my sobriety.
Yeah.
When things are going really fucking well is when I start to get lax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, I start to get complacent. I start to, when I first got sober in the sober living, I would keep a picture of a porta potty. I was on the bottom bunk of the bed. And so I would keep it underneath the top bunk, so it would be the first. It would be the first thing that I would see when I wake up, and
it's good motivation.
Yeah, and then shit just started happening so fast.
Yeah,
and
tell us a little bit about that. So, how did you get into that last one? Was it like a gift of desperation? You were like, I'm so sick of this. I'm gonna check myself into treatment. I'm serious this time.
No, it was not a light bulb moment. It was not a, oh shit, I finally need to get sober. It was not that. It was so I was like the worst kind of client.
Yeah.
I was the kind of client where you convince other clients to leave.
Yeah.
And like, let's go get loaded, like the worst kind. And I work in treatment now too, so it's like that is the worst kind of client that you can have,
Yeah.
Like it's one thing putting yourself in danger, but when you start putting others in danger, it's like, okay, now you're fucking up, but that was my thing. Cause I
didn't want to go alone.
Yeah. And so that's what I would do. I would either leave the sober livings or I would get kicked out of the sober livings. And the last one that I ended up getting kicked out of, I was like, what, fuck you. Like, I have some money. I'm going to go get loaded. Like, fuck you guys. And I'm outside waiting for my Uber. I had just enough money to get a hotel for the night, some dope for the night, the Uber. And I'm waiting outside for the Uber, and I had this very, what I call now like a spiritual experience. And it was a very vivid whisper of my best friend who passed that I was telling you about. And as if he was standing behind me, and he all he said was enough was enough. And it scared the shit out of me. Like I was like, the fuck?
And you're sober, so
it scared the shit out of me enough to say, I'll get high tomorrow. I'm just gonna get loaded tomorrow. But let me find a place to sleep tonight. So I end up calling the program director, and I was just like, dog, let me get one more shot. And he goes, bro, you've been to every single one of our houses. There's no more houses left.
Right.
And I was like, you have to know somebody. So he ends up putting me to this place in West LA called Design for Recovery. And it was like a newer company, and I walk in, and that's where I meet my now buddy Zackass.
Yeah.
And I knew who he was. He had some internet fame already.
Yeah.
In the jackass world.
Yeah.
Doing stunts, pranks, stupid stuff. And he needed a filmer at the time.
Okay.
And I grew up filming stupid shit and skate videos as a teenager for a decade. I know that world very well. And I was like, oh, dude, I know. I'm a filmer. I'll film for you. I hadn't touched a camera in 12, 13 years. The last camera I touched was a tape camera where they had
tape
tapes
recorder,
in it. And so I had to reteach myself all the digital cameras and teach myself how to edit. And he's like, all right, I'll let you film one video for me, and we'll see how it goes. The first video we filmed, we did a stunt on the Venice boardwalk where we bought one of those really fast gas-powered remote control cars.
Yeah.
They go 60, 70 miles per hour.
Oh, shit.
And we taped a boxing glove to the top of it. And what he did was he sat down spread eagle on the boardwalk, and we drove the thing 50 miles per hour into his nuts.
Oh my God.
And and while I'm filming this, I'm like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great video. It's a really, really good video.
Just see it with the boxing glove on top.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
And while I'm filming this, I was like, man, this feels very familiar. I'm having so much fun doing this, and this is a month in.
Yeah.
And we're having so much fun, and I still have no social media, no nothing. And we edit the video, and he posts. He's like, dude, if you really want to do this, you need to make an Instagram. So I create the Instagram, and I was like, what am I gonna call myself?
Right.
What am I really doing here? And he's like, call it anything. I don't care. He's like, you need to make an Instagram. So I was like, what rhymes with Vinny?
Yeah.
And I was like, Skinny Vinny. And at that point, I was like almost 400 pounds, you know? So I was just like, oh, Skinny Vinny, the irony behind it. It's funny, whatever. So I make the Instagram. And at that time, Skinny Vinny was already taken. So I was like, Skinny Vinny 666, whatever.
Yeah.
And we post a video. And, you know, it's back then, the creators would put filmed by and tag in the caption.
Yeah, it's just show love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we do it, and the video exploded, and all these people who I looked up to growing up, like Tony Hawk, Andy Roy, like all these people are like liking and commenting on this video that my name's attached to. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
What's happening?
Like, what is happening? And he's like, all right, dude, welcome to the crew. You know, he had a crew that he filmed, that he had already filmed a TV show for that hadn't yet come out yet, called Too Stupid to Die. So I became like their filmer for like the first 9 months of my sobriety, and then they ended up pranking me for a video, and that video does really well, and I started getting recognized from that one video.
Yeah.
And that's when I got the taste of, oh man, getting recognized felt better than any heroin high.
Yeah.
I want to make my own content.
Yeah.
And so that's how I started making my own content. You know, I think the first stunt I did was like I lit myself on fire and jumped off the Malibu cliffs.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would get attention.
Yeah.
That would catch I would stop scrolling for sure.
Yeah. You know, and it was just that was my addiction, you know.
Where do the cojones come from to light yourself off on fire?
I don't think cojones is
it stupidity.
I think it's a mixture of stupidity and the need for attention.
Okay.
I think, and I get this from Steve-O, because Steve-O says this a lot, and it really resonates with me.
Yeah.
It's just we don't have a higher pain tolerance than anybody else.
Right.
We feel pain just like everybody else. It's just really boils down to, we know if we get the clip that we want, it's going to get the attention that we crave.
Right.
You know, and we're just attention whores.
Yeah, that just reminded me of when the Fisher hook in his cheek. I'm we're watching him take it out. Yeah, definitely. You could tell he was in pain in that clip.
Yeah. It wasn't like a quick blow up. It was like a gradual burn.
Okay.
But it was like Zach's TV show came out in like late 2018.
Okay.
The first year we were in sober living, and that kind of like helped my career out as well, because I'm with everybody now.
Symbiotic. Yeah.
You know, and we just kept the filming going. Like we filmed all day, every day, in sober living, outside sober living, with like the management of the house. They were super cool with us. They were like, dude, as long as you're just honest with us, you work a program, we'll let you go wherever you want. And at that time, they had hired me to be house management. Yeah. I was out of health insurance. I wasn't making any money yet. Yeah. So I was a live-in house manager. Yeah. So I'm a live-in house manager while I'm working on my entertainment career. And it was just, each year was just like, it was nonstop. Yeah. Like no matter what we could do, we would do everything. And then people started reaching out. You know, I remember when like Bam reached out for the first time, and he flew us out to the castle in Westchester, and he was having like this giant party, and we go there, and it's just like everybody knows who we are. And he ended up wanting to film a video with us. And at that time, it was still, Zach was like the main star, right? It was still, and I'm behind the camera still. I'm wanting to be in front, right? But I'm just not there yet. And so I'm filming, but it's still, we're like on the Rocky Steps in Philadelphia filming a video with Bam. Right. And Danny Way's there, Andy Roy's there, and I'm just like, dude, like we're at Castle Bam, like what the fuck, you know? And it was just like one thing after another. It was like a snowball, like a slow snowball effect. Yeah. It was slow, but it was kind of quick at the same time, you know, because I feel like people come to LA to be the Hollywood star or acting, whatever the case may be. And it's for most cases, it never happens.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I didn't come out here looking for this.
Most people don't even have the work ethic that it takes to even get started, you know, because it, like you said, when you were saying filming constantly, doing everything that you could possibly do every minute of every day, like that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Like it really does.
It really takes, you have to be obsessed.
Yeah.
You have to be obsessed.
Is the term.
I don't know if you know, do you know 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐤𝐻𝐿?
No.
I had him on my pod, and he said something, because I was the type of person who like believed in balance.
Yeah.
Right? Like balance is key, right?
Yeah.
He said something to me that fucking hit me so hard. He goes, no, fuck balance. He goes, you want to be successful at something, you can't have balance. You need to be obsessed with that one thing and that one thing only.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, touche.
Yeah.
And it changed my perception of like, no, I feel like I'm at where I'm at is because I'm obsessed with what I do.
Yeah, and that's the gift of being, honestly, like addicts are the best at obsessing.
Yeah.
We really are. Like the obsession to use and drink, if it's converted into positive energy, is like literal jet fuel to whatever
100%.
you put your fucking mind to.
100%. And I'm going to steal this one from Steve too.
Go ahead.
He says something all the time where he's like, addiction or alcoholism is the only disease where if you make it to the other side, you come out better than what you were before.
Right.
It's the only disease.
100%.
You know, and it's true. Yeah.
The best people I've ever met in my life have been addicts.
Yeah.
Like the tenacity and zest with which they approach life is second to none.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And like, I don't like being... I try not to have my whole identity and the whole, like, I try not to make my social media flooded with it.
Right.
Like, with the whole, like, sobriety and recovery, like, because
it's not who you are.
It's not who I am, you know, and power to you. Like, my hat goes off to the people who have, like, made a career off it, you know, which, whatever.
Yeah, but it's not an identity.
And I don't want it to be my, like, I want my story to show off as... Look, it's known that I was a homeless drug addict. It's known that I got sober. I don't want that to be my identity, but what I want to portray is like, I'm living a fucking cool life because of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, look, you have to go do this if you want this. You know, it's just like, like, look at me. Like, you're
the proof.
Yeah. You know, I don't like being the whole, like, and I have tried to keep my entertainment career separate from the whole recovery side of things, but it's I feel like like I look at Steve, and Steve does a very good job at doing that. He's like, and he always tells me, he's like, dude, be careful, don't intertwine, you know, and I try. I feel like for him it was a little bit easier because he was already in the world of entertainment before getting sober. I got in the world of entertainment because I got sober. Yeah. You know, so it's a little bit different there.
Yeah, it is. I think, you know, he does do a lot of recovery content, though, still. Like, I think the thing about being in recovery is you want to share that message. Like, you want to, like, be like, this is what it was, and this is what it is now. Like, if you don't believe in God, or if you don't believe, like this is a miracle. This is miraculous. For sure. Like there is no math problem that could put this together and it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like 2 + 2 = 97 in this situation. I think I've been trying to find that balance between here we go talking about balance. Like, you know, but for this I'm trying to find that balance between like making content that's fun to watch, that's not recovery based, but you could tell that I'm doing this because of recovery. Right. If that makes sense. Yes. I've been trying to figure that out, and I think I've kind of cracked the code recently, but I'm still like tweaking things. You know? Yeah, and I think it's going to be an ongoing process. Yeah. Because like a good friend of mine, Brandon Novak, he, you know, that's, and I love him so much. He means the world to me. And his, you know, he portrays sobriety. He portrays AA. You know, that's his thing. And I love him for that. I want to be known for Vinny doing rad stuff, inspiring people, making people laugh. And also on the side, you know, That's where I'm at with it too. That's kind of like my gig, because I know that there are people who, you know, that is their content, like 100%. Yeah. There's
and it also, look, I'm about to get a little resentful here.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, it's and this is some internal work that I have to figure out. You know, but sometimes I get a little frustrated, I should say, that people have made successful careers and big followings strictly because their content is sobriety related.
Right. Why?
It's a little frustrating. It's because, like, yes, getting sober is going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do.
Right.
I agree. I'm not pushing against that. But, okay, you got sober. What else are you going to do?
Right. Exactly.
You know what
like,
I mean?
who are you? What is this life? What are you going to do with this life that was gifted to you?
Yeah. And it's just, you know, it's like there's a lot of people out there like myself that, you know, it's like, okay, we got sober. We did one of the hardest things we're ever going to have to do. But now we're also venturing out and like trying to become like I'm working on this TV show, you know, that's fucking kicking my ass trying to get sold. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to be known in other areas, but it's just like not popping off yet. You know what I mean? Like my personal Instagram, it's still little. I'm on these other bigger shows, but like it kind of annoys me. And I know everything's not about the followers and everything and the likes and all that shit.
But
it fucking
does
helps.
matter now.
It fucking helps, you know? So it's just like I'm busting my ass to make this shit pop off so all my other things could pop off. And then I look at other creators that are just strictly sobriety and they're huge. You know? And it's just like, oh, congratulations. And but
then they have one lane they got to stick to it. They can't venture out whatsoever, and they're trapped. So I think that's the caveat. Like you have all these people here, but you get to tell them one thing. And you don't get to be free at all. So I've seen it. I've seen the downside of it, you know, of being niched up and it just being like, now you're in a prison.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to be careful because like a lot, and I'm not talking shit about anybody. So whoever's listening to this, whoever's watching this, I love you. You know, you have to be careful when you're monetizing.
Yeah.
And like, if you're a program person, the traditions, you know, you got to be careful with that stuff.
Right.
And then you start to think, okay, what are your intentions?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because intentions are everything, especially when it comes to people like
100%.
us. You know, it's like, okay, what are your intentions behind it? So you just have to be careful. That's why Steve always says to me, he's like, dude, be careful. Don't intertwine.
Right.
You know, like, make sure your intentions are pure. You know, if you want to help people, help people, but you have to do it the right, correct way. Right. You know, and it's just you just got you know, and it's just, if your whole thing is the sobriety stuff, it's like, okay, number one, what's your intentions, and especially if you're monetizing it in a big way, what are we doing here? Right. You know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a resentful asshole.
No, I think it's reasonable to be frustrated in that regard, but at the same time, like. I'm a fatist, and I believe that like the way that things play out, like there's a very strong likelihood that they would look at your life and want it, and you're looking at something that they have, and you're like,
for sure,
and then they're looking at you thinking the same exact thing, like the people, the rooms that you're in, and the life that you get to live. Like just because somebody has followers doesn't mean that they're making money. It doesn't mean that they're that they are happy. It doesn't mean anything.
No, it really doesn't. You know, and. It's so easy to get caught in that trap of the views and the likes and the comments and all. It's so easy to get caught in that. And I look at my let's just talk about my follower count on Instagram. Yeah. Right? I look at that. I'm like, fuck. It's like I've been doing this shit for 7 years now. It's like it's okay. The quality of people I have following me is amazing. Yeah. But I look at my life and I'm like, I've had a TV show. I've toured around the world, right? With Steve. I'm a co-host of a podcast that gets 250,000 views every week. Yeah, it's huge. I've interviewed people dream of having a conversation with, right? Yeah. So it's just like I look at that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, the followers don't really fucking matter. It doesn't translate. So does it fucking matter? It really doesn't. You know, like, yes, having a large amount of followers on your Instagram can help with like brand deals and shit like that, and like more paychecks and stuff like that. But like,
I feel like engagement matters more now.
100%.
Yeah, I think engagement and having...
And I go and do my little fucking research and like I look at these bigger profiles and I'll go look at their engagement and stuff, and like my engagement's better than theirs. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just like, okay, now I'm just looking at the numbers and it's pissing me off. You know? It's like,
I think, you know, it's such a weird little world, but I think it's as people in recovery, as addicts, like we can get like fixated on things.
For
like
sure.
we can just like narrow in and like it just becomes the thing, you know, that we're going to obsess over.
And it's so like I just did this like little processing in my head, right? And I'm just like, here I am bitching and complaining about fucking Instagram followers and like quality problems.
So quality.
You know what I mean? It's like again, it's like, who do I think I am? You know, it's like come back to earth a little bit.
No, but I love it because it's real. It's very human. Like I said, how human of you to want these things or to notice, you know. What is the one thing that you would say drives your recovery more than anything else?
Service.
One word answer and like just it. Definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it has to be that. It's and again, it's the only way we can keep it is if we give it away.
Yeah. How do you get into service?
Any small way I can. Yeah. And I run a few houses on the west side of LA, and I don't look at that as service, but I look at that as a way to
make an impact.
Make an impact. And I like to pull people close to my life to see what the possibilities are. Yeah. And with how bad the epidemic is now, and it's not getting any better, and people are dying left and right, and with, I mean, you know this just as well as I do, the recovery world, it's a revolving door. Right? It's you go in, you leave, you come back. Same thing. Fucking, it's very, like the statistics are so bad.
They're horrible
for people to get it. It's like 1 out of every 100 people.
It might even be less.
Yeah, that are going to get sober and stay sober long term. Right. So I know that I can't help everybody. I know that for a fact. Yeah. But if I could fucking grab one person by their neck and just be like, you sit here next to me and you don't leave. Yeah. And I've been very lucky and grateful. I'm very grateful that I have been able to, like, I'm pretty good at like
zeroing in on who's ready.
He's my guy. Yeah. Right. I've gotten pretty good at that. Yeah. And like one guy right now, his name's Maddie. You know, he was a gnarly cokehead, like younger kid, and I kind of kept my eye on him, you know, and I was just like, okay, you're gonna be my guy. Yeah. And now he's got like 14 months, and like he's still at my house, and and it's not just that. It's like our going to Skid Row and giving out stuff, or it's like living in Hollywood. I come home to a homeless person sleeping on my stoop a couple times a year, you know, and like. Right at first, I'm fucking angry. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I pay thousands of dollars to live in an apartment. I'm coming home to a homeless person, but very quickly,
like,
I look at it. I look at it as, oh, this is an opportunity. So I'll go get a bunch of clothes, bunch of food. Be like, all right, dude, here, you got to go, but here, you know, it's it's just whatever way, you know, like a lot of the times I'm not out there looking to be of service. Right. I'm not like, okay, who could I help? It's just like, and the opportunity presents itself a lot. Yeah. You know, so that's how I do it.
Yeah. I love that. What do you have to say to the person that's watching this? They're hopeless. They're helpless. They don't know if they can get it, but they really desperately want to get sober. What do you have to say to them?
Oh, man. I think it's just, you know, it's the go find some solid people. Like that. I say this almost every day. It's just like, you can't do it by yourself. Yeah. You can't. And if you want to succeed in anything, it's like surround yourself with solid people that have more than you. Yeah. and it makes you want to have what they have, so
Yep.
it makes you work harder. And it gets easier. It does, it's just like what happened to me this time around, I consider I was luckier than hitting the lottery.
Yeah.
Because this sobriety, like, it wasn't really that hard. And I don't want to, again, getting sober is going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
Yeah.
For me, the reason why I say it wasn't hard for me this time, because any time I tried to get sober before this, 30 days, that's it.
Right.
I wasn't doing it for myself. I was doing it for court, my mom, whatever. This time around, I still didn't even have the intentions of staying sober.
Right.
I had that thought. I was like, okay, cool stuff is happening. I'll get loaded later because this isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
So it was the life that fell in my lap that kept me sober at first, for the first year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wow, I want to keep this.
Yeah.
So then I started doing the work. So that's why I say it was pretty easy for me. But I had solid people around me.
Yeah.
I had the best people like anybody could ever have, and opportunities just started fucking flying at me left and right,
Yeah, it made it easy to want to stay sober.
Yeah, and I think the other really important thing is you have to come to an acceptance that you don't know shit.
Yeah.
I still don't know shit.
Yeah.
I'm constantly fucking. I have like 7 people on speed dial that like. If I have to make a big life decision, I'm calling every single one of them to get their opinion. Like nowadays, it's like, yo, dude, should I buy this Rolex?
Yeah.
It's like, is this a good idea? Like, tell me I
Tell the
can.
truth, yeah.
Like, please just tell me what I want to hear.
Right.
It's like shit like that. It's like, or relationship advice or whatever. I have these 7 people on speed dial to call because I still don't know what's best for me. I don't. You know what I mean? My life, I'm a little bit better at making decisions now.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, I still don't know what's best.
So you say keep wise counsel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been such an honor having you. Where can our listeners follow you? Give us all your...
Just at Skinny Vinny on Instagram. And you could watch the podcast Wild Ride on YouTube every Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, thank you so much again. It's been an honor.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was cool.
Of course. And that's it for another episode of the Straight Jacket Podcast. If you're anybody that you love is struggling with alcohol or addiction, go ahead and go to mentalhealthresource.com, fill out the form. Somebody will be in touch with you to get you some help. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.